The discussion about urban gardens on street boulevards continues at City Hall tonight. Good evening and thank you for joining us. After more revisions, the Boulevard Garden Maintenance Bylaw is back on Council's agenda.
The alterations come after more resident pushback and Council asking city officials to look into some areas of concern.
First of all, that was to allow shrubs in the boulevard space. The second one was to increase the height limit on plants that are allowed in planter boxes. The third was to further restrict the use of herbicides, pesticides, rodenticides. The last request was to explore if we could allow plant supporting structures, things like tomato cages, stakes, bean poles, and things like that.
City Climate Action Specialist Danielle Tom believes administration has found a good middle ground with these latest changes, which include allowing certain shrubs up to 1 meter, setting the height limit for herbaceous plants to 1.6 meters, allowing plant supports, and enhancing environmental protection measures. Tom adds administration worked with the city's Accessibility Advisory Committee to ensure there are no barriers to access public space.
People move through this area. It's not even just necessarily people living with disabilities. It's small children, it's people kneeling down and things like that we have to make sure sight lines are clear and things like that, which might not make the gardeners happy. But we've kind of, like I said, met in the middle. Not everyone's going to be ecstatic, but I think most people will be pleased.
Council could ask for further revisions tonight or elect to move forward, which could lead to ratification by the end of February.
Local MP Patty Hajdu is weighing in on the challenging times for her party.
The federal Liberals are currently gearing up for a leadership race, which Hajdu says could be an opportunity for the renewal of the party. Vasilios Bellows reports.
A prominent Liberal cabinet minister echoes concerns being shared by many of her colleagues.
There have been constituents who have expressed a fatigue with Justin Trudeau.
Thunder Bay Superior North MP Patty Hajdu addressed the challenges her party is currently facing in the wake of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's decision to step down. It sends the Liberals into a leadership race amidst demands from other major parties to call an early election. Hajdu thanked Trudeau for his time at the head of the party, but wouldn't back any of the potential candidates just yet, saying only the race offers a chance at rejuvenation for the party.
A time for renewal. It's a time for, I think, looking inward and outward, looking at our own team and our own Liberal caucus and our own Liberal policies, but also looking out at Canada and how much it's changed over 9 years and what kind of leader we need for the next term.
Any contestant for the leadership race needs to declare themselves by the 27th, with a new leader being announced on March 9th. Hajdu says she wants a candidate that can take care of issues domestically and address the challenges faced on an international level.
The economy, as many people have seen, the economy is slowly recovering, but many families are still struggling to deal with the issues of affordable housing. The United States making, Donald Trump, the incoming president, making statements that we haven't heard around the sovereignty of Canada. So we need people that have serious plans about how they're going to tackle these challenges.
Parliament is currently prorogued until March 24th, with other parties threatening a non-confidence vote upon its return. That could set up an early election, giving the new Liberal leader very little time to make their case to Canadians and keep the party in power. Vasilios Bellows, TBT News.
Premier Doug Ford is outlining a plan to accelerate resource development as part of his proposed Fortress AmCan, an economic partnership between Canada and the U.S. that's meant to strengthen ties between the two countries.
This as rumors continue to swirl at Queen's Park about an early provincial election, with the latest poll showing a 10-point lead for the Progressive Conservatives. CTV's Siobhan Morris explains.
America needs it. Canada has it.
A wealth of critical minerals that go into EV batteries and weapons. The Premier pitching an AmCan Critical Mineral Security Alliance to get them out of the ground faster.
We need to speed up regulatory approval timelines for current and planned critical mineral projects, with priority given to the projects that displace and replace Chinese supply.
It's Doug Ford's latest attempt at strengthening Canada-U.S. bonds, with Donald Trump's inauguration now a week away. Ford's public push has fueled speculation of an early election.
Nothing's been decided Let's see where the tariffs go.
A new poll by Liaison Strategies of 1,200 Ontarians finds that among decided and leaning voters, 40% say they'd pick Doug Ford's Progressive Conservatives, 30% Bonnie Crombie's Liberals, and 21% would back Merritt Stiles and the NDP. While PCs are still way out in front, the gap between them and the Liberals has closed slightly.
Now we're hearing so much early election speculation that people might actually start asking themselves, what is it that I want?
Opposition leaders agree Trump's threat of 25% tariffs does need to be seen as a serious threat.
Not as an excuse for an illegitimate early election call.
While Crombie and Stiles say they'll be ready for an early vote,
I think that's selfish, and there's no excuse for it.
the Premier insists he doesn't have a mandate for a mass infusion of cash into the economy should the Trump tariffs take hold.
I think if it comes to it, and we have to spend tens of billions of dollars, we go to the people. Let the people decide. It's their money.
Flimsy justification as far as opposition leaders are concerned from a premier with a majority government.
He didn't come seeking a mandate when he wanted to spend $1 billion to expedite the sale of booze and wine at the corner stores. He didn't come to seek a new mandate when he wanted to spend $2 billion at Ontario Place.
Insisting the premier should be more open to collaboration.
It is your job to fight like hell for every single job in the province of Ontario. And I'm here to say, I'll work with you on that. You don't need to go to the polls. We got this.
And that was CTV's Siobhan Morris reporting. The board president of an Indigenous health organization welcomes provincial funding for a new health facility in Kenora.
As we first told you last week, Minister Greg Rickford announced $28 million for the new 3-story Aboriginal Health Access Centre. When it opens, it'll incorporate modern technology with traditional healing practices. Justin Hardy has more.
I couldn't be more delighted to rally behind this project. Thank you.
Yep.
The province recently announced $28 million in funding for the Wasagigic Nanondawe Eyuwigamig Aboriginal Health Access Facility, which will be built on the site of the former Kenwood Hotel. The health center will allow better access to culturally sensitive primary health care, mental health and social work services, diabetes education, and other services. WNHAC Board President Charlene Mandaman says this new build will really help the organization keep up with its growth.
So this new building should accommodate our, all our whole team. Yeah, and to work under one roof is going to be, it'll enhance communication, service delivery that we currently provide, whether it's cultural services, health services, mental health, midwifery, all those programs.
The new building will replace about 4 locations around Kenora, serving as many as 15,000 registered clients in the area. Now, most of those services will be centralized to one downtown location.
Networking, communication, that sense of team, that sense of belonging, definitely, yeah. And not only that, but for our clients to be under one roof. We don't have to run to the Patterson building. We don't have to go to the Bannister Center. We don't have to go to the satellite clinic. All those different areas and it's confusing, right? So it's going to be exciting.
Kenora MPP and Indigenous Services Minister Greg Rickford says the centre will relieve some of the issues surrounding urgent reactive care.
When locations for services are displaced all over, we lose people. They fall through the cracks, and that puts pressure on our emergency room, our urgent care, some of our other healthcare service locations here in the city. So this is good for everyone, and it's a great day for Kenora and the surrounding communities.
Construction is planned to start this spring and is hoped to be completed in 2027. Justin Hardy, TBT News.
Ontario's Associate Minister of Women's Social and Economic Opportunity was in Thunder Bay this morning for a significant funding announcement. Charmaine Williams confirmed the Ford government is investing more than $1 million to support the Paro Centre for Women's Enterprise and its Paro Biz program.
I am excited to announce that we are investing $1.24 million over the next 3 years to Power Centre for Women's Enterprise for the Paro Biz program.
The funds are being delivered through the Provincial Women's Economic Security Program. Paro Biz helps low-income women start and grow their business. Paro CEO Rosalind Lockyer says they're very happy to receive these funds to continue empowering and giving women the tools to succeed.
This program, Paro Biz, provides funding for women to start their organizations and find good jobs and sustain their businesses. We would like to thank the province and Minister Charmaine Williams for providing this kind of funding for our organization to provide sustainable programs for women entrepreneurs and other women in the community that want to find good jobs.
That $1.2 million will be spread out over 3 years.
A transport truck lost control on Highway 11 north of Nipigon over the weekend and ended up atop of frozen Orient Bay. Nipigon OPP responded to the incident around 12:30 yesterday afternoon. Police say the tractor-trailer unit lost control due to poor weather conditions, veered off the highway and crashed through a guardrail. The vehicle then came to rest on the ice across from Pijitwabik Palisades. OPP say the driver was able to exit safely and walk to shore uninjured. Another photo was posted online today, which shows the transport has broken through the ice and is now mostly submerged in Orient Bay.
There was also another scary incident involving a transport on Highway 17 between Schreiber and Rossport near Rainbow Falls Provincial Park. This snowplow dash cam video shows it navigating a curve on a hill as a school bus approaches in the oncoming lane. Then suddenly the snowplow has to veer over for a transport truck passing on a double line. Fortunately, the drivers all narrowly avoided a collision. The footage was captured on Friday morning just before sunrise. OPP are aware of the video and call this kind of driving behavior completely unacceptable. So far, police haven't been able to track down the transport driver, but OPP insists they remain committed to proactive highway patrols to protect drivers and prevent incidents like this one.
The City of Thunder Bay is inviting residents to provide feedback on Superior North EMS and its assets and services. A public survey has been launched as part of an effort to update the city's asset management plan. The plan is an important tool that guides the city when it comes to making informed decisions about infrastructure and service delivery. The information gathered in the survey will help identify areas of improvement, establish investment priorities, and ensure city services meet the needs and expectations of the community.
And the current one we've just put out is for Superior North EMS services. So we're looking at getting resident feedback on the services provided by Superior North EMS within the city limits of the City of Thunder Bay. And we are looking to, with our asset management program, we're going to be proposing levels of service for our asset management plan. So getting resident feedback and getting the most amount of data from our residents is really helps us to make informed decisions when we're recommending levels of service for the future.
The survey takes about 5 to 10 minutes to complete and can be found on the city's Get Involved website until January 31st.
Thunder Bay's Winter Fundays programming continued this weekend at Prince Arthur's Landing.
On Sunday, City Recreation and Culture staff offered a variety of indoor and outdoor activities for residents to enjoy. Emma Chilton was there.
On Sunday, the Winter Fun Days event offered skating and free maple toffee treats for patrons to enjoy. Attendees were able to warm up inside the Baggage Building Arts Center with an art activity provided by the Community Arts and Heritage Education Project. The indoor activities included a theater workshop, puppet making, and hot chocolate. Up to 150 residents attended, with more seen arriving throughout the event. The staff happily set up additional tables to accommodate the growing crowd, and attendees were excited to share their thoughts and show off their crafts.
I made a snowman and four hump caterpillar.
When I go outside, I get a hot cocoa and I drink hot cocoa and go there watch the ski. Inside, we try make some winter toys like lady, snowman, and bug.
So it's really great to get out during these winter blue months and get to be with the community. And yeah, what do you think, Willie?
Yeah, look, I have Kirby.
So far we've came in and we've made these beautiful little creatures out of different used materials, and the kids got to try some local maple syrup candy, so that was amazing.
Next weekend's featured activities will be snowshoeing at Chapels Park and poetry art at the Baggage Building Arts Center. For more information, you can go to the city's website. Emma Chilton, TBT News.
The Thunder Bay Auto Sports Club returned to Mission Bay yesterday for the first round of ice racing in 2 years.
The 2024 season had to be canceled due to that mild winter and thin ice. But with the colder weather the past few weeks, the racers were able to hit the ice and start their season. Brendan Miller reports.
Starting at noon, practice sessions went out for drivers to get their feel back. One driver in particular, Gary Adamko, told us about his time getting back in the driver's seat.
Well, the first few practice laps were knocking off a lot of rust, overdriving, underdriving, just doing all kinds of crazy things. But eventually, by about the last practice session, started to get most of the rust off and getting into some of the grooves or the paths that the car really likes to take. And so it worked out well.
Even better for Adamko, he swept the 3 races in the studded tire category. He credits his success to having more time to tinker with his car.
Because we didn't run last year, it gave me some additional time to refreshen the engine, which helped with today's success. And another fresh set of tires. So all those contributing factors placed us into the first place position, which was really nice because there's other cars out there that are very, very fast also, and it just luck fell our way.
Adamko also wants to encourage others to build their own race car and compete, and that racing is a family sport for everyone to enjoy. Brendan Miller, TBT News.
Well, over the weekend, I feel for both of those activities, winter fun days and ice racing. We saw a little bit of snow, which was nice. The weather was pretty mild.
A little bit?
Yeah, but it's starting to get a little
bit.
Oh, well, we saw quite a bit of snow. I'm not going to lie about that, but
never stopped.
No, it really didn't. Especially a little further out of town too. It really got impacted. But it's now getting cold.
Yeah, temperatures are certainly dropping. If we take a look at what has been happening, we started the day with our low of -16 and wind chills of -25. And it really didn't warm up much from there. Our high was only 2 degrees warmer and wind chills of -22 in the last couple of hours. That was with winds from the northwest 16 to 35 kilometers an hour, and that caused light snow and a lot of drifting snow. So it was hard to tell sometimes if we actually were getting a lot of snow falling or if what we had just kept moving on us. If we take a look at what was actually happening, you can see the systems for the most part to the west and just over the northwest shores of Lake Superior. So yes, that did include Thunder Bay, but also seeing snow further to the north. Now, Red Lake has been dealing with a lot of ice and drifting snow throughout the day. Their temperatures were quite a bit cooler first thing this morning. In fact, to the west, wind chills were ranging from -31 to -38 in Fort Frances earlier today. At this hour, little closer together. The wind chills are currently ranging from -24 to -27. Greenstone has had light snow throughout the day as well. It hasn't stopped. They started the day with wind chills around -24 and basically stayed within that range, and that's where they're at this time. On the eastern shores of Lake Superior, quite a bit warmer, currently at -8 in Wawa, -7 in Sault Ste. Marie, both seeing wind chills around -15, -16. They've had snow and blowing snow all day, and temperatures have been falling all day. So these are actually the lows for the day. Here in the city of Thunder Bay, we're going to drop down to a very seasonal -19, and wind chills will feel like -26. The snow should end sometime after midnight. And then we are looking at just a slight risk of snow for the next 24 hours after that. But that's not the end of our snowfall for the week. In fact, it's going to be an on-again, off-again thing. So we're looking at snow again by Wednesday, and that's still not the end of it.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Fiona. Look forward to that, I suppose.
Get
I don't
prepared.
believe you.
Yeah.
I don't believe me either. All right, after the break, we told you a little bit earlier about Premier Doug Ford and his Fortress AmCan proposal, that partnership between Ontario and the U.S. That, of course, is in response to Donald Trump's tariff threats. And with the state of the federal Liberal leadership in flux right now, there are a lot of differing opinions on just how to respond. We'll delve deeper into that after the break.
Who has more critical minerals than anyone right now in North America? It's Ontario.